Yo, what's up? Today I'm going to show you how to scrape thousands of mobile phone numbers of homeowners for completely free. I'm going to show you what the data kind of looks like. As you can see here, we have the first and last name, their phone number, whether or not it's a landline or a mobile number or wireless number right here, then also the address and the city, state, and all that jazz. All within right here, all scraping from Propwire, and it's all completely free. Now, this is an extensive process. Might be a little hard to learn. I'm going to give you all the resources I have to make it easier for you. But I'm going to show you exactly how it works first and then show you how to automate this. So I'm sure you've heard of True People Search or cyber background checks or some sort of USA search, anything like that. A whole bunch of free searching tools that allow you to search the address of somebody, and then you can get the first name, last name, and their phone number directly from there. The only problem is you have to do it one by one, and it's manual, right? So I'm going to do Columbus, Ohio, right? And then I spelled that wrong. And then we search and you find their phone number and it takes forever, right? So the way to fix this is we obviously want to automate it. Now, certain platforms, the only thing with this is that it might not work long term because just because they might try to stop you from doing this. And I'm going to show you why. So if I use, let's say, truepeoplesearch.com, as you can see, I can look up people by address. I'm going to look up 4000 East. We'll find a random address here. Boom. Search. Tiffin, Ohio. And then we have, obviously, this information to go view details. Right. Now, if I do this too much on this one website, it's going to start asking me, hey, for the CAPTCHAs, right? So saying, hey, are you a robot? And as soon as it starts doing that, then we can't really automate it. So that's the hard part with this. Now, there's ways around it, but it's still pretty hard. So with this other tool called cyber background checks, this is almost the same thing, the same exact data, but we can automate it. And there is no CAPTCHA thing. Now, if you're outside the US, there might be a CAPTCHA, which there's a way around that still, but it can still work on here. So I was able to scrape thousands just from using this for completely free. Cool? All right, so I'm going to show you the whole process. We're going to start at downloading a Chrome extension. So what we're going to be using here is called a RPA, which is a robotic process automation tool. All that is basically just kind of like a little software that runs on your computer that will just do a process for you. So if you just need to copy and paste something like 10,000 times, you can use an RPA, will automatically copy and paste things, which is kind of what we're doing here. So I'm going to show you how it works. All right. So the tool I'm going to be using is called UI Vision. You can download this for completely free. You want to download from the Chrome store right here, click to install. And when you pull it up, it's going to look something like this. Now, there's a lot to this. It might be kind of hard to understand, but I'm going to try to show you everything. Over here is your macros, basically the events or the projects that you're working on, basically. So these are the macros. Now, I have one that you will be able to download in the description, and I'll show you that in a minute. I'm going to make this full screen so we can see everything. And then we have, I can pull this down here. Within this macro, we have all the different commands. So basically, this is the automation that's happening. So it's going to open a website, then it's going to read a CSV, then it's going to type in the address, and then it's going to pause for a second, then it's going to click the first contact in that address, and then it's going to find that person's name. It's going to store their name. It's going to store their address. It's going to store their phone number and whether or not it's a wireless phone number. And then it's going to save it into a CSV file, and then it's going to be done, and it's going to do it over and over and over again. So that's this whole process right here. Now, if I click into one of these, as you can see, it says the command, it's open, which is like open a website. And it asks you for the target, which is the target website you want to reach into. Now it's going to read a CSV file, the CSV file that we upload to it, right? And we're going to want to read that CSV file. And then it's going to type, and it wants to know where to type the text, right? So we're going to type the text right here. And so we need to find that element, right? So it goes on and on and on, and it does the entire process for us. So again, I've already built this out, so you don't have to really learn too much on how everything works individually. But obviously, it's good to know. So that's the tool we're going to be using. And then the other tool you want to download is called Instant Data Scraper. So this is just a very easy tool to use. It's just a Chrome extension, completely free again. And we're going to start from here. Cool. All right. Step one, we're going to go to Propwire. So as you can see, I'm on Propwire right here. We're in Dayton, Ohio, and we're typing in leads. I think this is pre-foreclosures, right? That's the leads I'm looking for. As you can see, it shows us all the pre-foreclosures, all the addresses here for completely free. So we have all these addresses. It just doesn't show us, obviously, their first and last name and also their phone number or their email, all that jazz. So that's the hard part with this. And obviously, you can pay for these, but it's very expensive long term. Now, total, we have 400 here. So what we're going to do first is we're going to use Instant Data Scraper. So if I click Instant Data Scraper right there, boom, it pops up. and it starts scraping all the data for you. So it's getting all the addresses right here. Now, obviously, we have the addresses and it's saving the addresses, but that's not going to help us because we need their phone numbers. But this is just the first part of the process, okay? So here it says rows collected, 250. So it basically has 250 people right here. And so everything that's right here is scraping. Now, if I click locate next button, I can locate the next button, which is this right here. And then I can click here and I can click start crawling. Now the only problem is when I click start crawling, it automatically clicks this one right there. And I couldn't really fix that. And so if you had like, let's say 100 pages here and we scraped the first page and then it'll go straight to the 100th page and it's not going to scrape all the ones in between. So it's kind of annoying. So that locate next button doesn't really work on this scenario, but we can use just doing it manually. So we have the 250 right here. I'm going to exit out of this. I'm going to reopen it just to show you. We have 250 right here, and then I'm going to click locate next button, and I'm just going to click right here, which is not the next button obviously, but we're just going to do that for now. And then we're going to click start crawling. Now what it's going to say is, it's going to say, hey, table not changed, because obviously it didn't click the next button, so it doesn't know what to do. But what we can do is we can just click the next button ourselves, and we can click start crawling again, and it'll scrape everybody for us. And so we just click next, start crawling, and we can scrape 250 at a time. So now we've already got 400 addresses right there. So now we can save this as a CSV. So I'm going to click save as CSV. It'll come up in your Chrome browser right here, and it says Propwire 2. Cool. So that's the CSV I have. Now, next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to download this. I'll put this in the description below, and it's just going to be a Google Drive link. You're going to click download right here, and it's going to come in as a, what's this called? As a zip file. So it's going to say cyber background checks address. Cool. Now, what we'll do is within UI Vision, you're going to click on this little button right here, and you click import JSON or zip file. And we'll click on the zip file that we just got. This one right here. Boom. Import. Now, the first thing we want to do is, it says read CSV right here. This number 2 right here, read CSV. This is the CSV that we just downloaded, right? Which is from Propwire and Instant Data Scraper. So we need to upload our CSV to here. So you're going to click CSV down here, right there where it says CSV. Then we're going to click import CSV. Now we're going to import the CSV that we just created, which is the Propwire 2 one that we just had right there. So I'm going to click open. If I drag this up, we can see Propwire 2 right here. So now we need to change the target to the new one. So I'm going to just copy this, and it needs to be the exact same text. So that's why I'm copying it. And then I'm just going to delete this, and I'm going to paste it. Cool. So Propwire 2. Cool. So number 2 right here should be reading the CSV that you just downloaded, which you should have uploaded to here. And now we're reading from that one. Cool. Because what it's going to do is it's going to look at the addresses of that CSV. Cool. All right. Now, next thing we want to do, that's we're almost done here. Next thing we want to do is save CSV. You can just change this to whatever you want. I'm going to call this testing Propwire. So once we've changed the name, we can just click save up here at the top, and then we're pretty much good to go. So now what I want to do is, instead of clicking play macro, which will start the automation, if I click play macro, it's only going to happen one time. I want to play it in a loop. I want it to happen over and over and over again. So what I do is I click play, or this little 3 dots that says play loop. I'm going to start at number 2, because actually you could start at number 1, but the first line is usually the head rows, which obviously aren't going to work. If it's, it says address and city and state, right? Which, that's not going to work. So we're going to start at line number 2 from the CSV, and then we're going to go to however many you want. So we had 400 in here. We're going to do 400. Now the only issue is that this is going to play. It's going to take a while to play. I'm going to show you why, because it's doing one at a time. But we can let it sit. I let it sit for like 2 hours, and it scraped like 600 people. So, maybe 300 per hour, and you can speed it up and slow down too. So I'll show you how it goes. We're going to click play here, and hopefully it starts going. So it's starting here. As you can see, my hands are free. It's clicking a person's name. It's finding their information. I'm going to click on here. I'm showing you what's going on. It's storing the text. Then it's going to open the next one. So I already did one of them. So if I go down into here, into the CSVs, we're going to look for the new CSV that we created, which is testing Propwire. I'm going to click this little C icon. And as you can see, we already saved one person. It already found one person for us. Now if I click it again, now I found 2 people for us already, right? And it's working on the 3rd one right now. So now it's working. Now there might be some issues. If you run into some issues, I'm going to show you how to fix them. But if it's working for you, obviously now we have a system to get phone numbers for completely free. So you're welcome. Have fun with it. Now, if it's not working for you, usually I'll show you what the issues that you might run into. The issues that you might run into is that it'll say, hey, it can't find the text to store, right? It can't find the phone number and the email, and it might come up looking like this. So sometimes it'll say this, hashtag LNF or pound LNF, and so it couldn't find the data, and that's what it's saving. And so obviously that doesn't really help us at all, so we need to fix that. Now, if it does it for a couple of them, that's fine. Like this one, obviously, so right now that they're yellow, so probably couldn't find one, so we can look at it right now. So for some of them, it's okay, but if it's happening for all of them, or the first 5 in a row, then we know that something's wrong. So if I click here, as you can see, it found that person's name, but it couldn't find their phone number, and if it was a mobile phone number. So I'm gonna show you how to fix that. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna stop this, and we're just going to go to one of the addresses. I'm gonna click on this, and I'm gonna put that in there. I'm just gonna use a random address, and I'm clicking in there. The reason it's not working is because it can't find the elements on the page. And so every computer is a little different. Sometimes if you have a smaller screen, everything on all the elements on the page are in different places. So, I have it saying, hey, click on this element in this place. But if you have a smaller screen, it might be in a different place. If you have a larger screen, it might be in a different place, right? Or if you're doing it on a tablet or mobile, all the elements change depending on your computer. So that might be a problem. Now, most of the time it should work fine, but we're gonna click View Details. And if it can't find this, we're gonna scroll down and find where it says Store Text. And it's saying, I gave a description here where it says store the name in column number 1, store the phone number, and then the third one is store the phone type. And so if it's having issues on these, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the element. So we need to change this element in here, the target right here, the element. So the way to do this, we're gonna click on these 3 little dots, click on More Tools, and then Developer Tools at the bottom there. It should come up on the side or at the bottom. I like it on the side. And if you want to change the view, you can have up here. It'll come up on the bottom, right? It doesn't really matter. We need to find the element that we need to pull from. So we do click on here and click this right here, right? So we're going to click this, again, the selector tool, and then find the element that we're trying to search for, which is this one right here, boom. And then we have the element right there. So I'm going to right click this. It highlights the element for us, right? Which is this one we want to click, right click, copy, but then copy full XPath, okay? So very specific, copy full XPath. Then we're gonna go back here and we're gonna paste it in there. Paste, right? Now, usually it works regardless. Again, paste, and we're good. And then we're gonna go to the next one, which is, well, that was all right, I shouldn't have done that actually. Because this is the name, this is the phone number, we need to change that one, so we're gonna change this one, which is the exact same thing, obviously, because I'm on the same computer. And then the next one, which is the phone type. So I'm gonna click on this, phone type, boom. And I'm gonna right click, copy, full XPath. So it actually is pretty easy. And then here, and change that, and just paste it in there. Cool. So again, also, if it has a problem clicking a certain element, so right now, like right here on number 8, it said it had a problem clicking the element. Also, I gave a description. It's clicking View Details. So it might have had issues clicking on that. Now again, if it happens once or twice, that's fine. But if it happens 5 times in a row, that means that something's going wrong. So it's having trouble clicking this button right there. So we need to, again, click this, find the element, right click, copy full XPath. Then put that in there, and then make sure you just save that. Cool. So that should be the fix to your problems. Again, it might be a little slow. Again, I pulled about 300, 400 within about an hour, about maybe 600 in 2 hours. You can speed it up. Sometimes what might happen within UI Vision, you might have an issue where in the settings here, it says timeout page. So sometimes it's taking forever to load, and then it will sit there for 60 seconds until it realizes it's not going to load. So this on I think it's usually set at 60, but I just changed it to 5, so it happens a little faster. Also, I changed it to, instead of, usually it's at medium delay, which means in between every step it'll wait about a half a second, but I do no delay, which is fast, and so it just happens as quickly as possible. And so you can change those if you want to make it a little faster. If you want a system to consistently get 120 leads a month using automations like automated SMS and emails and voicemails, you can book a call with my team below. Thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.